Mr. Ivanes, is there a communication recipe with Romania that the European leaders should use?
Well, I don't have any recipe, first of all. But I have a couple of thoughts that I would share with you. First of all, let's remember what happened this summer. Of course, it wasn't really a coup, as the president and his party would say. Nevertheless, there was a kind of very forced movement by the USL, as we would put it in English, to demote the president and push him away in a matter of days or probably a week or so. You don't do that in a normal European-style democracy. You can impeach presidents, you could criticize them, you could push them out of office, but not this way.
So the European reaction was legitimate, you say?
Definitely so. It was a normal reaction to an abnormal situation, I would say. So there's no recipe of how one party should behave vis-a-vis the other party. If we behave normally, with common good sense, we, meaning the Romanian government, because Europe or the European Commission always behaves normally and Europeanly, if you would. Okay, so it's strictly a matter of how we choose to behave, and the choice is very simple. Either we behave as all the other Central East European states do, which means with an amount of dignity and normalcy, or as we did last summer, we exclude ourselves from the normal path of a European normalcy as they see it and as I see it. So we have the problem. I'm not sure that those involved learned the lesson. I'm not sure at all. So the only thing I can do is hope for the best and prepare for the worst.
Many European voices today still doubt that Romania's accession to the EU was a mistake for the EU, Romania's exception into the EU. What would you tell them?
Well, this is a very uneasy task after what happened last summer. It would have been much easier for me or for anyone, let's say in February or March, to convince the normal average European that Romania belongs there. Now, this task is much more, let's say, complicated and uneasy. I'm not sure what to answer. I have my own doubts, honestly put. Of course, as a Romanian, I would say immediately this was our last and only chance to modernize, to westernize, to develop finally. And this is true. I still deeply believe that. From a European perspective, however, I am unsure what the benefits of Europe are, having Romania and Bulgaria inside. Probably their thought was much more pragmatic, and they thought, okay, it's better to keep these two bad guys inside and not outside our control. Because if we keep them in, at least we can watch them and correct their mistakes and their bizarre movements, and it's better for us, Europeans, to have them in sight. I think that was really their thought, and that was the policy, if we can call this a policy, of accepting us rather than leaving us outside.
There's a lot of talk these days about constitutional reform in Romania. Which are the chances of a strong and deep structural reform in Romania, such as a change to a monarchy system or federalization of Romania?
Well, for instance, if you take the Constitution of Italy, you would see that it is impossible to question the form of government, which means the Republican form of government. I'm unsure, I'm very skeptical actually that we will ever become a monarchy again. And I'm very sad because I would really have preferred to have a king, someone, above all and everyone. Even if, if you look into the Romanian past, you would see very good experiences such Carol I, and very bad experiences such as Carol II. But I think we will remain a republic with all its benefits and its problems. The main thing is to define whether we are a presidential republic or whether we are a parliamentary republic. And I think it is very beneficial for us to limit the powers of the President of the Republic and extend the powers of the Parliament, such as probably in Hungary or Poland or the Czech Republic. We had a very unfortunate dictatorial and authoritarian past, all kinds of strange pasts, whether monarchical dictatorship or presidential communist dictatorship. So I think if we have a normal parliamentarian regime, such as in Hungary or in the Czech Republic or even in Italy, if you would, I think it would be very beneficial for the balance of power in Romanian society. As for your second question, probably federalism is a little bit too far-fetched and far pushed. Nevertheless, we can talk about regions, about autonomous regions, about regions who have legislative powers, because let's be very honest with ourselves. Romania has never had a unitarian history. We did it in a very artificial manner after the First World War. So I think it's beneficial and good for us to be, of course, a unitary country. However, even unitary means we are not several different countries. But if we have 3, 4, or 5 or 6 regions with very clearly defined powers, I think that would be very good for every one of us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ivanes.
Thank you very much.
SevenTimes.ro.
Thank you.